It's This Epic Disaster coming to you again on a Monday. Kind of a lazy Monday. Kind of a take it easy, laid back lazy Monday.
Although it's not Monday.
It is Monday.
They're listening on Monday.
That's
hopefully.
Yeah, so it's Monday.
All right, it's Monday. Hi, Monday.
It's Monday.
Happy
it's when
Monday.
it comes out. We're here on Monday, and that's what's going on.
Totally Monday.
Yeah. How's it going? What's going on over there?
You know, life.
Life is going on.
Life, love, and the misery of happiness.
Oh.
I mean, is that...
No, it's
Yeah.
nothing. That's completely your life.
Okay.
You totally made that up. You invented that.
I did invent misery. Yes, I did. I take full
You know-
responsibility.
You know what misery loves? Misery loves beer. And I think we should dig into this beer. All right, so this beer is, I got to apologize just a little bit. First of all, you were going to bring a beer over. You forgot to bring a beer. I bought this as a backup. Really not a backup, even though when I
you
bought
just
it.
knew I would forget.
Well, when I bought it, I thought, what if because remember I texted you, I said, bring the beer. You said,
Right.
sure. And then I was like, maybe she'll forget. So I went ahead and I bought this, but I bought it as a backup because I thought we could do it another time. I really wasn't thinking about
So
doing
it's
it
not
today.
going to be very cold because
It's cool. It's a cool beer.
Cool.
Cool.
It's cool. It's also only 4.5% alcohol, which is fine because I have a vodka drink right next to me that I'm sipping on and nursing, and I might stop the podcast in the middle to go make another because life.
All right, so I'm pouring my beer, and
Look at how you're... What the fuck are you doing?
if you saw my video this week, you
Richard,
know
no.
that I know how to
No.
pour a beer.
I am videoing this right now. I'm going to videotape what you've just done. Look at you with your nastiness and all that nastiness. You spilled it all over. It's getting on the computer.
So here's the
What the hell?
here's the thing about there's some paper towel right back there.
Yeah, how about you go get it?
Here's the thing about that video that I did. So when I did the video, my intention was I was going to make the worst poured beer ever. I was going to pour the beer and it was going to like overflow, and I was going to pretend like that was a great pour. And I don't know what happened, but somewhere while I was doing it, it came out to be a pretty nice
Pretty
pour.
damn good pour.
It was great.
But that's not how you normally do it. You were doing it wrong.
I was going to do a funny thing, and then it just came out perfect, and I was like, dang it, it got a perfect pour. But here's what's weird. All right, so I just poured this beer, and it had a huge head, and now it has no head. So
It like left immediately.
what does that mean in a beer when the head goes away really quick?
Well,
Do you know?
it's not cold, so
Uh-huh.
maybe that has something to do with it.
Well, no, that's true. I wonder if does cold beer increase the head?
Does cold make head better? I don't know.
Ask
I mean,
people from
I can
Alaska.
fit an ice cube in my mouth.
All right, so
Let's-
hey now, wait a second. That's so rude. All right, so this beer, what are we drinking here?
We are drinking Island Coastal Lager. It says
A
good
lager.
vibes, craft brewed, Island Soul, whatever that means.
That's weird.
It's 4.5% alcohol by volume. It's brewed by Island Brewing Company, and they are out of Lakeland, Florida.
Florida beer.
It
Okay.
says crack open an Island Coastal Lager.
We did.
Yep. Put your feet up and drink in the island vibe.
Not doing that.
A most quaffable beer? What the fuck does quaffable mean?
It's beer full of hair.
Okay. No, that's a quaff.
Isn't that what you said?
This is quaffable.
I don't have no idea then.
Zero idea.
I don't know.
It was created as a craft alternative to those mass market brands. Only the finest ingredients are used to brew this coastal style lager.
I think I'll be the judge of that.
Perfectly balanced with a smooth, crisp
All right.
finish.
Here's
This Bezo is fresh in taste and light in body. It's made for easy drinking.
here's my impression so far. It's got the same vibe to me as just the old beers I used to drink, Coors Light, Bud, all that kind of stuff.
Basically, but I'll tell you what, if you
It
have a
smells
sip of
like it.
this first,
I'm not gonna drink your.
just have a
vodka.
sip.
No,
This is vodka and pineapple juice.
I know.
The pineapple juice and that go really well together. Just try it.
I got something very adult to talk about pineapple juice, but I don't think I want to. All right, I'm gonna try this really quick.
But you have to try the pineapple juice too.
Oh wow,
No, here, just try it. Just
I
it's
don't
way.
thank
just,
you. I'm just
Bitch.
drinking beer.
Bitch.
I'm just drinking beer right now.
It's just a sip.
Okay.
A sip of vodka. Come on. Everybody who's anybody's doing it.
It does need to be cold. It does need to be colder.
Yes.
I will say that.
Yes.
You know.
Can't believe you didn't try my drink. I'm really kind of upset about it.
It's your cocktail.
I can-
Enjoy your cocktail.
Oh, fuck you. I will enjoy
Drink
my cocktail.
up with your cocktail. You're a little ornery today. What's going on? What's the problem? What's the big deal? What's the BFD?
Well, you and I have discussed me dating.
At times we have
Here and there. And I'm pretty much standoffish when it comes to the whole idea of it. Of
standoffish means you don't want to do it.
I don't know. I'm not good at it, and I never claim to be good at it. I actually claim to be poor at it.
All right, so what are you not good at?
Just the whole being responsible for other people's feelings.
All right, so
thing.
that's the whole thing. Okay, and you don't have to be when you're dating. That's called a relationship. In dating, you don't have to be responsible for other people's feelings. You just have a good time. You have fun. Hang out with somebody that you like. It might even be somebody you don't like for a while.
But that's friends. That's friends.
It's part of dating. Sometimes I dated more people that turned into friends than people I dated that turned into relationships.
Here's what sucks about me is that I make good friends and then I kind of slip over the edge and fall for them a little bit. And then
okay.
Yeah. So then I make the mistake of putting myself out there maybe a little bit too soon, a little too early,
Yeah.
a little like I probably shouldn't have yesterday.
Okay.
And then I get immediately rejected.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's
and now I'm a scared.
Yeah, well,
I'm a scared that I ruined a friendship.
yeah, I don't know that that's a good idea. I'm not sure. I've done it a few times. I don't know. Has it ever? No, it's never turned out. Never, ever, one time.
Then why do I keep doing it? What the fuck is wrong with me?
Well, that's true. That's just bad. I think that's a bad situation. Now, I'm not saying. In fact, if you are listening to the podcast and you are in a relationship, a long-term relationship that started out, you are just friends, maybe at work, you were just friends. And I don't mean you were friends for a day or two or a week. I mean you were longtime friends.
Like years.
Yeah, you were friends for a while and then you said, let's date. And then you dated. Because every single person that I know who have done that, they always say, and then we realized that wasn't a good idea. And then I would say most of the people I know who have done it ended up continuing to be friends.
And I just
but it'll
love
kill
that.
your friendship sometimes.
I just love that line. I think we're better as friends.
Yeah.
I've actually used that line, which sucks because when it's used on you, it sucks. And now I know what it feels like because I've used it on people. And to have it used on you, which this is not the first time it's been done, mind you. So it's not anything new. It's also, rejection is nothing new for me. Pretty much 9 times out of 10, when I put myself out there, I get rejected. That's just my life.
I don't know that that's true.
No, that's very true.
Okay, so here's what I think happens in friendship dating, friendship relationships, especially if it's people that have long-term, you've known them for a long time. Over the course of the time you've known them, there has been occasionally some sexual tension.
Right.
So, you're just hanging out, having a good time. You're friends. Even if they're in another relationship, in your mind might pop out, boop, wonder what they're like naked. Just whatever, just quickly, and then it's gone.
that happens on a daily for me.
Yeah. Or you're just hanging out and then you see them and you're like, wow, that person's attractive.
Look at that ass.
Yeah, or something.
Yeah.
And wonder what those boobs look like naked.
Sure.
So something like that just happens really, really quick.
Yep.
And so then if you move into the next part of, you decide to take it to a relationship, right? Then all of that stuff that you thought, because the sexual tension is high, and that always leads to some really good sex at times. It's just like, boom, it happens, and then after it happens,
then it's just weird and awkward, and it just
Totally.
doesn't go anywhere.
And after that, it's just like, what the hell did we do? And so you saw the ass, you saw
the naked boobs,
all of the
all
stuff,
the things.
you saw it, and then you realize, wait, that was all it was. This is really not a good idea at all.
And then
but we just had sex, and we're going to be friends with the sex. And so now, what am I going to say? Harry Met Sally. Remember that scene?
Yes.
They tried to make it work, and it didn't work for a while. And then it turns out, I was trying to think, Seinfeld, their relationship was,
Sure.
they used to be dating, and of course, those are TV and movies. I just don't know a whole lot of people.
In real life, if you okay, let me just say that what you and I have is kind of a unicorn of friendships.
Probably.
It is. It's not only did we have sex, but we were in love and lived together for 4 years, and it took a good year of me pummeling you with friendship texts until we were finally friends again after that ended.
Maybe it just I needed time away,
Right?
and it wasn't all just that. I mean, I needed to meet other people. Our relationship, even though it was completely on its own and independent, our relationship was also wrapped up in my other relationships because it was at the end. It was just like, oh, there's another failure.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So it got lumped into a whole big thing of another failure. Why do I want to have to get involved in another failure? And
Exactly.
So I think what happened is for me, well, I was gonna say I needed a few more failures, but no, that's not really true. So I just needed to forget that. I needed a whole different style because my style of dating and relationships was always commitment, meet someone
Like
commit.
from day one.
Oh yeah. Just and I didn't want to do that.
Right.
And so but it didn't feel natural. It didn't feel right for me. And there were people that I became, and this is weird because there are people that I met that I became friends with, and then it was just like, oh, I like them as friends. I don't know that I would like them in a relationship, and now I have to see them naked. And so
You don't have to ever see it. You can close your eyes.
Well, I could have said no. And see,
Right.
that's the
There's
thing.
that
but then
too.
it's
You
just
have
like,
that right.
Yeah, but it's just like then that person would have. I feel like they would have gotten upset or whatever. I think I was trying.
So
to...
you just went ahead and saw him naked.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, all of that's weird. I just don't know. I think the best friendship kind of relationship happens after the fact. So you're in a relationship. Look at what we did. We didn't know each other before.
Right.
So we're in a relationship, and then it's over. And then you have whatever bitterness. You have the thing. Even in Harry Met Sally, they wouldn't talk to each other for a while. It's that whole thing. It's just like getting over the romantic feelings, and then it's just like, oh, we still like each other. We're still friends.
Yeah.
That was still important.
Right.
I don't know that you could do that if you get into a relationship immediately with somebody. I don't know.
What my biggest fear is, because in this particular situation, as in other situations, I love this person dearly, as a friend and as a person and just as a human being. And I think they're a grand example of what a good human being is.
Uh-huh.
So, and I enjoy their company just on the regular.
Right.
So my concern is that now that I've fucked up and threw myself out there, made an idiot of myself, and how many more times can I kick myself in the ass? Now my concern is that I'm going to lose that.
Yeah, and you probably will. I think.
Fuck you! I don't want to.
No, well,
how do I not do
don't
it?
fuck me. I'm just telling you the fact, and then what I'm saying is you don't want to do it. So here's what you do.
Okay.
You repair that. You go back to the person and you say, "Look, I'm going to be honest with you. What I said, I might have meant, but what I really mean is I value your friendship more than anything else."
I've already said that.
And then so you just say, here's what, let's just stay friends. Let's forget all of this other stuff.
Yep.
And let's stay friends and keep it at that because that's what I like.
And that's what I
wanna
said.
keep.
I said that immediately. As soon as I got the rejection,
Uh-huh.
I said that immediately. And then I followed it up a little bit later with,
I
go
want
ahead
to do
and
you.
tell me if you ever change your mind.
Yeah, so
Because that's who I am.
real. Yeah, that's not real. You can't do that.
But I did. What the fuck? So this
I
morning,
want to be your friend, but I still want to see you naked.
I do still want to
I
bang
want to see you
you.
naked.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think that you can't do that because that's just going back on what you said. You have to do it. You have to be honest about it.
It's like you're not allowed to believe anything before the word "but." If somebody comes to you and they say, "I'm not a racist, but," you absolutely just start at the but, because everything before that is bullshit.
Yeah.
Or I think you're really pretty, but, or your artwork is great, but that whole thing. Just start at the but, because everything before that is nothing. It's crap.
But that's the chance you take. I mean, I think we talked really early on in, I believe it was this podcast, when I was in college, and this person who I was friends with, and I really liked her, and we had a good time, and we were in class together.
Yeah.
And one day I just kind of said, I really like you, and then boom, it was done. It was completely over. She wouldn't talk to me. I never talked to her. We never had that kind of thing ever
And
again.
that sucks.
Well, what sucks is she didn't have the maturity to go, you know what? I don't want to do that, but let's stay friends, because we were having fun as friends. And then I'd be like, okay, That's cool.
I mean, all she had to do was say, look, I appreciate that and I'm flattered. And it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Not but, and. If you use the word and, it matters. It means it makes a difference. If you say your artwork is really good and I think there's a place for it.
Just not in my house.
Just not in my
Well, I think that I am the king of misread signals. I've never been good at that. Either when it goes my way or when it's not going my way. Like one of my very first girlfriends, I mean, basically, she's like sitting on my lap before I even knew she was interested.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just didn't register. And when I look back, I was like, wait a minute. She would wait for me after this class.
She would sit on you.
She would
physically.
walk with me.
She physically sat on you.
No, I was being I was going a little crazy on that. But I'm just saying, she would walk with me after every class, after every meeting. It just so happened, boom, she's right there.
Oh, hey, yeah.
And I'm so dumb. I'm just like, oh, what a coincidence. No, it wasn't a coincidence.
What a coinky dinky.
So I'm just, I don't know. I'm really bad at that. And I feel like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of any friends. Oh, I did. I have a friend who at one time, this would have been really difficult, but I actually said to her, if you ever want, it was like her relationship was ending or whatever. And I was like, if you ever want to explore a relationship here, I'm here.
Wow.
And I think there was a thing where she was just like, okay, maybe, but probably not. I really want to see if I can work out this relationship.
I'll keep that door open, though. Yeah.
Which is really nice. Didn't end the relationship. But I think, that's relationship killers right there.
It feels like it. And
Friendship
now
killers.
so here's what I did this morning. All morning I was walking around going, what the fuck did I do? What the fuck did I do? Oh my God, what the fuck did I? And then I was like, it's fine. Everything's fine. It's absolutely fine. Everything's okay. What the fuck did I do? I mean, this was my morning. This is me pacing. I was pacing in my house, waiting to see if I got any kind of response. And then I did.
And it wasn't good.
No.
Well,
But at the same time, this friend of mine, we've gone out to clubs a couple of times as friends, obviously. And he has said to me...
Oh, it's a him.
It is a guy, yes. He has said to me, you constantly have people hitting on you. And I'm like, no, I constantly have creepers. There's a difference. There's a huge difference. And I discovered this last night. I had 3 creepers in the course of an hour and a half. So dude, man, or girl, or whomever stands like 10 paces away from you and just stares at you. Mm-hmm. And you look over and, hey, hi, smile, whatever, and look away and do your own thing. Clearly not going to walk over and talk to this person. You've acknowledged their presence and you've made it clear that you're staying put. Right? That's kind of in my opinion, that's kind of a signal. Mm-hmm. Like, I see you looking at me, now stop.
Now,
but
what do you interpret that as? So what do you think? Is this person like, that is a really cute girl, I want to meet that person? Or is that just like, that's somebody I can get in bed? Or is it just like, here's somebody new?
That's somebody I can tie up and throw in the back of my car.
Yeah, but I mean... But I'm just saying, what is that stare? Is it legitimate interest, or is it just like, I'm going to go for that one?
Or are they blind and they can't contain where their eyes go?
Well, no, I'm just saying, is it there when you're in a club and that person is there? Do you think? I mean, I guess it's a mixture of all of those.
Yeah.
That's the way I operated because I didn't do a lot of clubbing, but I would go and I would see somebody. I was like, that would be the focus. I'd be like, I want to go out with that person. I want to get to know that person.
That person looks interesting to me. I would like to know their name and who they are.
Yeah.
And that's fine. If somebody wants that, then they need to walk up and say so.
That's the way I do in all relationships. I focus on one person. Boom, that's the one.
And then if that creeper from 10 paces away last night would have walked up and said something, hi, I'm John. I'd like to meet you. You look interesting to me. What do you do for fun? Start a conversation.
Sure.
Yeah. No, that doesn't happen. They just stand
They're
and
gawking.
stare.
Yeah.
And it's weird.
Did you see their hands? What their hands doing?
This.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just
Just kind of
waiting.
They weren't
hanging on.
touching anything inappropriately.
Just their
They
held
weren't. No,
hands?
just hands.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just weird. So, yeah. Anyways, I mean, I know better now. I know better. I give up.
Well,
I'm done.
Well, here's the thing on the friendship thing is number one, time. That's what's going to fix that. Is time.
I know.
No matter what you did, you screwed it up. You said the wrong thing, whatever. Now that person has to try to correct and fix and whatever. And you just say, look, sorry, I had some interest. It's probably not a good idea. I understand. Let's just stay friends.
Let's
We had
just
a good
move
time.
on.
And
Let's
then,
just go
and then
forward.
that person, may, just like I did for a year, that person may be like, no, I don't want to do that. And give it time. And then they'll be your friend again. But you got to be responsible for, I mean, you stepped out.
I made a choice.
Uh-huh.
I stuck my neck out and I got my head chopped off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did.
because that happens to me every fucking time.
You know what I would like for you to do right now? I'd like for you to cut those cards. I feel like right now you cut those cards and the card that's on top is the 7 of clubs. Just do it now and you're going to see true psychic ability. 7 of clubs. Man, I wished I'd said the ace of diamonds.
Because that's what the card was. You are not psychic.
What's on the bottom there?
Rick? 7 of diamonds.
That's what was throwing me off.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's what it was.
7.
Anyways,
I knew it was a 7 in
let's
there
play a
somewhere.
game. Let's just play a game and get it over with.
All right, we're going to play a little Zapmondo to get our minds off of awkward
Rejection
dating.
and
Awkward dating.
horrid feelings and
I
my urge to go home and just drink myself into a stupor.
There are some people that just seems to me like always have it together with dating. I can't.
I am not one of those people.
But how many people do you think are as awkward as we are in the whole dating world?
Probably like I
You
mean,
think there's more,
let's
do you
let's
think
go.
more
If you-
people
if you
master
think-
it than we do.
If you feel like if you feel like I do right now,
Yeah.
my initial emotional reaction
Mm-hmm.
is I am the only person on the planet who goes through this.
No,
That's
it
that's
can
my
feel that
emotional
way.
reaction. My logical reaction is that probably 99% of the people on the planet go through this.
Maybe. All right, so worst dating stories, send them to thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. Make us feel better.
Please.
If you might be the master of dating, and if so, we don't want to hear from you. If you,
Because you suck.
yeah, what? Tell us your awkward datings, because here's the thing. I did a lot of internet dating. That was my favorite way. And toward the end, when internet dating became, really big, I used that more than anything.
And
I
you
think,
met your wife.
well, yeah, I think more people do that now.
Yeah.
Much better and safer than going to bars, I think.
But if you have ever walked up to somebody, whether you knew them prior or not, whether you were friends for years beforehand or not, if you have ever walked up to somebody in their face and said, "Hey, I would like to give this a shot. What do you think?" And they either initially flat out rejected you, which is my favorite story to tell, when that happened in my 20s, or if they gave it some time and were like, yeah, no, or if they gave it overnight and came back at you and were like, I've been thinking and I'm going to say no, which is fine because I want everybody to have time to consider and absorb what I've said. If you've ever heard that, please write in and tell us about it, because I need to know that I am not the only person on the planet that this happens to, because it has happened to me so many fucking times. Because I just walk up to people and I say, "Hey, I like you. I would like to get to know you."
Yeah, I would back off. I think I would use the "I'd like to get to know you," but I think you got to start a little. You need to lay back.
But I already know people, and then I'm like, "Hey, we've known each other for a while now."
But that's the thing. I mean, the people are going to feel one way or the other, yes or no. You got a 50-50.
And I always tell people, I'm like, what's the worst that could happen? They're just going to say no. That's the worst that can happen. But that's not the worst that can happen. The worst that can happen is I totally fucked that friendship up.
They could say
up.
no, fatty. That would be even
Oh my
worse.
God. I
the-
hate you, because that's the one thing I was concerned about. I was like, he's going to say I'm too fat.
no.
Seriously, that's what went through my mind. Like, I came over here and I was like,
That's what I
where's
said. That's the worst thing. That's
Where's
worse
the
than
scale?
no.
Where's the scale? Because I think that I got rejected because I'm fat. So I need to know how much I weigh.
I don't think you're fat, and I don't think you were rejected for that. And if someone rejects a friend for weight, then they're not
you're my
lucky.
friend.
You are so lucky. Totally lucky. All right, Zabmondo.
All right.
Would you rather drop a stone,
It's
a blue
blue.
stone?
It's blue.
That is appearance and embarrassment.
Thank you for that. That's perfect.
Would you rather Would you rather have a model's body or the IQ of a Nobel Prize winning physicist?
The IQ of a Nobel Prize winning physicist.
I think I would.
Hands fucking down.
I don't know though. That might be an old person's thing. I think if you're younger, you might want the body. But
wait, now you just called me old.
no, I'm just saying. I'm saying generally. I wasn't saying you specifically. I'm just saying. I think that would be what most people would want that are older.
Now I'm old and fat.
Yeah, because I think I would take the IQ as well.
Absolutely. I mean, who wouldn't? Honestly, even some young teenage whatever thing.
Yellow's burning in my hand.
Is it yellow? It's blue. Okay. So blue, once again, appearance and embarrassment. Would you rather walk around for a full day with a big dump in your pants?
Oh my God.
Because you can't find a bathroom all day long.
Again? Go ahead.
Or not wash your hair for 1 month. I mean, you've done that.
Not for a month, but that's certainly the one I would choose.
You think? Because the other one would get raw and rashy.
What? How do you know this? I think you're kind of telling us a little bit of stuff. You're projecting some information we don't need to know. Now, how long did the dump was for a day?
Yeah, but if you look at, because the reason I know this is because if you look at babies, they get diaper rash because they have wet on them.
Yeah, I don't know who would pick the poop. Who is going to
I mean, is your hair really that fucking important?
Who wants to walk around with a load in their pants for an entire day?
So
No.
picture this.
I wouldn't do it.
If you were going to ask a friend out, and say, hey, I think we should date, would you rather do it with shit in your pants or dirty hair?
Well, first of all, let's think about the other person for a few minutes. Who would you want to ask you out? What would your response be? Yeah, you have to kind of consider the other person. And the other thing I would think about, too, is if you've got a load in your pants and the other person says, sure, let's go out. Then I'm thinking it's time to start really reconsidering the people that you're asking out.
Yes. What attracted you to this person in the first place? Oh,
Poop.
dear. Poop.
I love a load.
Poop.
I like a woman with a good load.
That's nasty.
That's totally nasty.
That's nasty.
All right. So I don't know. I mean, it's definitely an awkward situation, but I feel like, especially if you screwed it up, you have to give it a little bit of time to unscrew it up.
And we had plans for tonight.
Oh, and you ruined those plans.
I don't know. I might still hang out with him.
Oh, well, that would be good, because then you could talk. Spending time is always good, because you get a chance to talk. And
you just got done saying give it time.
I'm saying give it time if he doesn't want to hang out with you. If he wants to hang out with you, then what the heck? What's wrong? You just go, look, you know me. I'm dumb.
I'm an idiot. I'm sorry.
I've been drinking. I
had been drinking.
It was alcohol talking, not me. I'm sorry.
But I don't want him to feel that way either. I don't want him to think I was only attracted to him because I was drunk.
That to me is like the best thing.
No.
No, it totally is, because if you say it was the alcohol, then they go, well, I'd like to do it. And you go, yeah, me too. And if they go, no, you just go, yeah, what was I thinking? It was the stupid alcohol.
That was stupid. That was I don't know where that came from.
Okay, so we were recently talking about some documentaries. There's one I forgot to mention, and I want to mention it because it's awesome. I watched it for the second time because I wanted my wife to see it, and it's called Hail Satan.
That's a lovely title.
Hail Satan. It's about Satanists.
No.
It's so good, and it's not what you would think. It's funny. It's, I don't know. It'll make you want to be a Satanist.
What?
That sounds so ridiculous when you say it. But when you watch the documentary, you would totally understand.
My understanding of the Church of Satan is that they honestly do not believe in a deity.
It's totally it.
And they are there for other reasons.
Yeah. So basically, what's happened recently is the people who now control the Church of Satan, the name and all the stuff, they kind of turned it into a political thing.
Right.
And so they do a lot of. Well, first of all, they do a lot of good in the community. Mm-hmm. But aside from that, they do a lot of things to try to, when they see things happening legally that shouldn't be happening, that are basically against the Constitution, against the law or whatever, they try to challenge it. And they do so in a very extreme way. In some ways, it's like PETA, the people for the ethical treatment of animals.
Right.
And sometimes they're outrageous in order to bring attention to themselves or
sometimes
their cause.
They cause more harm than good.
I totally believe that. But that's kind of what this group is doing now, and it's very funny. And I don't know, I really enjoyed it. It's a great. It's not something you want the kids to watch. There's some nudity involved. Most of the nudity is from like old
footage
movies, and stuff like that,
where they sacrifice virgins.
Yeah.
to make it virgins.
And it's not what you would call explicit, but yeah. And I mean, it'll cause you to think. It's always a good reason to think.
How is it on just say on Netflix that you get these things that pop up in your feed and I don't?
I look for them
based on what you've watched in the past.
I always go to Hulu and Netflix into the documentary section. Hulu's got better documentaries than Netflix. I need to subscribe to a documentary streaming thing.
Have you checked Amazon Prime, because you have a Prime account?
Amazon Prime, you go to documentaries. There's like 4 documentaries,
really?
And they have the worst documentary section.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But there is a documentary streaming thing, and I need to find that, because having just unlimited documentaries is what I dream
There's
of.
something I want to subscribe to.
Oh yeah,
It's called
Corn.
Acorn.
Acorn?
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
It's British television.
Okay.
So I don't know how much it costs. I can't remember, but I think I should get that app and subscribe to that, because I like British television.
Yeah, I like comedies and dramas and just all that stuff.
All the things.
Interesting.
Maybe it's just the accent. I don't know.
You get Doctor Who on there?
Oh yeah. I mean, I can get Doctor Who anywhere, but certain shows you can get anywhere. You can get them on Netflix, you can get them on Amazon Prime, whatever. But some shows don't simulcast. What is it? Not simulcast, but they don't
Broadcast? Stream?
You know what I mean?
No, I'm trying to figure out what you mean.
Where they sell to other. Anyways, they're
syndicate.
Thank you, syndicate. They don't syndicate, so the only place you can find them is through British television stations, and Acorn has all of them.
I would like to point out, a few months ago, I just want to ask if this happened. You talked about maybe you trying to get David Tennant on the show, since he was going to be here in Atlanta for Dragon Con. Were you able to get him here? What day is he doing the interview? I'd like to know.
He'll be here on Thursday.
On Thursday?
Yeah.
On Thursday, David Tennant is going to be here on This Epic Disaster, thanks to Cheri. Cheri set this up, apparently, and he's going to be here.
Well, a photo of him will be.
Oh, a photo.
Yes.
So you only booked the photo.
Yeah. I didn't get voice.
Did you try?
Yes.
You tried? I totally don't believe this. This is like...
You can hear the lie in my voice when I say yes.
So David Tennant was in Atlanta. What you're telling me is David Tennant was in Atlanta.
And I didn't even go see him.
Did not reach out.
I didn't even go see him.
Now, I heard from the grapevine, I heard some grapes saying that it was very difficult to actually meet him. A lot of people did.
Several... Okay, so I know a lot of geeks and nerds, in this town. Not like hundreds, but... Pretty much everybody I know was at Dragon Con except for me. And none of them saw him.
Wow. Tried to see him, though.
Yes.
But couldn't.
Right.
Interesting.
Well, some of them tried to see him. Some of them say that they don't go to cons for the celebrities. And they specifically do not try to see... It's not like they try to avoid the celebrities, but they don't pay the money to stand in a fucking line for an entire day of con.
Who would you do that for?
David Tennant.
Well, you didn't. No, I'm saying who would you do it for? Because, I mean, you have said on the show and to me that he is like somebody you would do it for, but you didn't. So is there someone you would do that for? Stand in line for a long time just to meet?
Only you.
You don't have to stand in line to meet me.
Sometimes.
Right here.
Sometimes I do.
No.
Because there's dogs and wives and...
I don't know who I would do that for. I'm trying to think... There's a weird shift when you get older, I think, that people, celebrities, whatever, when you were younger, who you would have flipped out over, it just doesn't hold. I mean, you still like them.
I don't have the stamina to stand in line, especially in some sort of cosplay, all day long for like hours on end, just to get a photo and an autograph, which I had to pay for. Like $80 to $120 for both. I don't have that in me. That doesn't make any sense to me. If I were at the con and hanging out and I happened to see him across the room, I would not fangirl. Well,
You would.
I would not fangirl
Why
all
wouldn't
over
you?
him.
If you could.
But I would absolutely walk up to him and
Yeah,
say hello.
talk.
But I would not,
Get him on the
gush.
show.
I mean, I wouldn't pants him in the middle of the room or anything like that.
There was a time I would have been like that with Billy Joel. I wanted to meet Billy Joel in person.
Yeah.
And but I don't know. Here's the thing. You're a celebrity and you're here. You've heard every single thing. You've heard everybody say what you mean to them. You've heard everybody say that
could
you
you
love their song.
possibly say that's different?
No, because I'm now stepping up, and I got to tell my story. You've meant so much to me. I've been listening to you since high school, and he's like, "Yeah, you and hundreds of thousands of others."
Right.
Thanks. Move it on. Move
Bye.
along.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel like it would be. So
He'd say, "Thanks, Dick. Move on."
I just don't think that it would. There would just be now. If I was just like, if you could pick somebody to go hang out at a restaurant,
Oh, God.
and chat with,
Yeah.
then we're talking.
Yeah.
Because you get a chance to kind of get to know the person or whatever.
There's this really great, if you go to omaze.com.
Who?
Omaze, Omaze.
Okay.
You can find charities and things. So what they do is they get celebrities involved with their charities, and they sell basically lunch date with themselves, all expenses paid, trip to go to where they are and have lunch with them and chat for a couple of hours or whatever. And you bid on these things. You donate money to go to the charity. It's like a raffle.
Yeah.
Right? And they make so much money for charity. And the celebrities that do this, it's a few hours out of their day to go and meet somebody where they already are. They don't have to go anywhere to do it.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going to a con or something. They're at home, This company is going to fly you there, pay for your overnight, whatever, pay for your meal, pay for your visit, et cetera, if you donate $5.
Okay.
And you tell 100,000 people that, they're all going to donate $5.
Yeah.
So if you just take out the little chunk
500,000.
of that it costs to get the person there, it's well worth it. So if you're ever interested in doing anything like that, Omaze also has, and this is not a commercial for Omaze, I just think they're great. They have one charity event, which is a trip around. It's like a road trip of the United States. It'll take like 3 months, I think, something like that. They basically give you an RV and take you where you're going all around the United States, and you can win it for a $5 donation. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have to take time off work, obviously.
Yeah.
But you get money and everything. It's covered. It's all good. I mean, that's a blast. Wouldn't that be a blast?
Yeah.
If your company would give you the time off. Or if you didn't mind quitting
Okay,
your job.
so let me ask you. All right, so
Sorry,
let's
moving
just say David Tennant, Billy Joel, that's out of the
Okay,
question.
they're gone.
They're on a level we're not ever going to get. So
Okay.
let's say of the people we can potentially get on this show,
Yes.
we could call them, and there's a good chance they would go, sure, if you'll clean up your studio, I'll come up.
And
I'll do the show.
That's always supposed to be
Who
a caveat.
Who would you pick? Who would you like to see up here? I don't know.
I don't want to go too high because
Well, that's the thing.
then
It's got to be. It's got to be
yeah.
somebody who we got a good chance of getting on the show.
Elton Brown.
That's true. He's from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. We should try that. I think I've reached out a couple times, but 15,000 other people have too.
I mean, but so many celebrities
Yeah.
come to Atlanta, especially movie stars, because Atlanta is small Hollywood.
Right.
So a lot of movies are made in this area or
Why?
in Georgia.
Can't you work on that? You're a Brown.
Look,
you're in the
here's-
same clan.
Here's what happens.
You're both from Clan Brown. You both have the same
We've
birthday.
already met once.
You've met once. You've had the same birthday. I feel like you could potentially do this. Look, I will clean the studio for Alton Brown.
You would clean the studio?
For Alton Brown, sure, to get him up here. But I have a feeling we would have to go. We would have to take the remote stuff somewhere
Probably.
to get Alton.
I don't think he's coming to Stone Mountain.
He would be good. I don't know. Have you ever listened to his podcast?
Yeah.
It's an interesting podcast. I like the format. He doesn't do a lot of them, but you do. I like
Yeah.
him.
I just like him as a person. I think he's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And he goes to Publix. So,
I know some people who know him,
Yeah.
who like Atlanta people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And? He rescued a doggie,
Yeah.
Scabagale. That's her hashtag.
Well, so recently he did.
Yes.
I think you should look into trying to do it. I don't know how you would do it. First of all, it's Atlanta. Try to see if you know someone who knows someone.
Mm-hmm.
Make some connections because
Okay.
you'll probably find it. I think my wife knows somebody who knows him.
I think she does.
Yeah. So, and then just start finessing. I mean, he's a celebrity, but just see if you can make it happen.
And you can't do this because
It's not a matter. You're trying to push it off on me. I'm saying he's your choice. You're a brown. He's a brown. You have the same birthdays. I feel like you got some things you can connect with, and I feel like that it should be your project.
Okay.
I'm not saying there are some people I can work on.
And who would you like to work on?
Here, you know who I really want to get on the show?
Who?
And you might want to call it a minor celebrity, although I don't think that's fair.
Okay.
But other people might see him as that. Kevin McDonald.
What? Why would you call him a minor celebrity?
I said some people might see him as that. He doesn't have a name that's on everybody. Like just me saying that, a lot of people out there know who's that. They don't know who that
I
is.
guess that's true.
He's bit parts and things like that. But one of the kids in the hall.
Yep.
And he's touring right now. I think he's going to be coming to Atlanta. He's doing a one-person show.
Really?
He did it on Broadway or right off Broadway for a while, and he's touring around. And, several of the Kids in the Hall people do stand-up and come here. Scott Thompson did a few months ago. Dave Foley does on a regular basis. He's done some podcasts here.
He's been at Dad's garage.
I know.
Yeah, it's like up the street from my house.
And Colin?
Yeah,
we could get
all the time.
The time. Why can't we get Colin here?
I don't
Colin
know.
Mockery. Whose line is it anyway? One of our favorite shows.
Because I would just you remember when you were a little kid and you wrapped yourself around your dad's leg and he walked around the house with you wrapped around his leg?
No, that never happened.
Okay, it happened in my house. It might not have happened in yours.
Yeah.
But that's what I would do to Colin.
Yeah. Okay.
I would just wrap myself around his leg.
Now he's never coming up here. That would be something that would probably keep him from coming. Sorry, Colin. That won't happen. I'll make sure it doesn't. She might think. Remember earlier in the podcast we were talking about when she says things that ruins everything? I think that now she just wants to be friends, Colin. She doesn't really. She doesn't want to grab your leg.
I value your friendship.
That's right.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. And so I think about that a lot because, first of all, there are a lot of celebrities who live in and around Atlanta that we should be targeting. But then always, and the season is coming up where there's a lot more people coming this way, and we need to be looking into it more often. I don't know why we don't. We should.
Because you're lazy. That's why.
No. Here's part of it is we've tried it before. A lot of people who do podcasts, they're the only people who do it. Like, if you want to go to the top, Mark Maron, he's single podcast. He does the interview.
Yep.
A lot of people local who are doing podcasts that I know of, it's just that person and an interviewer.
Right.
We have to coordinate both of our schedules as well as the interviewer.
Exactly.
And that's what's difficult for us.
You mean the interviewee?
Interviewee, that's
We're
correct.
the interviewer.
That's correct. And with you, you're almost always committed during the day because you have a 9 to 5. So
Actually, I have a 7 to 4, but yeah.
Yeah, so you have to look out. I'm a little more flexible, and I don't know, guest wise, then we have to look out for their schedule. So, but we do have ability to call in some interviews, so we need to do all of that. I feel
So
like we do.
here's the plan. Let's play the lottery. If we win $120 million,
You would never see me again.
what? Where would you go?
I'd go. I don't know. I would just hide.
Hide?
I would hide out.
You would become like
A recluse.
a recluse.
No, I don't know. I might go travel a little bit. My wife would like to travel. I'm not a big traveler, but I think my wife would like to travel, so we would probably do that a little bit.
So here's what I would do.
Yeah.
The first thing I would do.
$100 million.
$100 million.
Okay.
So like more money than you need
Uh-huh.
at all. So I would pay off my friends' mortgages
Oh, why?
just so that.
That's trouble. I'm just telling you, it's trouble.
Why?
Because you pay off 5 friends' mortgages, and friend number 6 is like, what the hell? Why didn't you pay mine? And then you're like, oh, sorry, I'll pay yours. And you pay it. Friend number 7, why didn't you pay mine? That will never, ever stop. All your money's gone, and all you've done is paid your friends' mortgages.
So you don't want me to pay your mortgage?
No, I don't.
Really?
I don't. If you say to me, I just won $100 million, here's $1 million, I'd be okay. If you want to say, here's 10,000. If you want to say, here's $50, I don't care. That's just me. I don't care. I'm not.
But don't pay off my mortgage.
No.
Just give me money and let me do something with it.
I'm not interested in that. I don't care about that.
I know. I would give you $1 million.
Well, whether you did or didn't, that's
But then
your
you'd be
business.
like, but you won $100 million, and you're only giving me one.
I wouldn't do that. I'm not that kind of person. I would be like, could you pay back some of the money that you owe me? Just a little bit. Maybe buy me a Volvo. I would just like that.
Fuck you and your Volvo.
Maybe a new Subaru Forester. Just give me that. That's all I want.
I tell you what, the day I win the lottery, I'm going to go and buy a brand new Subaru Forester.
That's all I want. That's all
and
I
a
want from you. That
brand
is
new Volvo.
totally it.
And I'm going to have them delivered to your door.
My wife would like the Volvo. Give that to her, and
Okay.
then I will take the Subaru, and then we're good. We don't need anything else. We're totally fine.
Maybe a new hot tub.
We're all right. I'm kind of wanting. I've thought about getting rid of that hot tub. We just don't use it that much. It sits back there, it heats up. The water heats up. You have to fill it up. It just, I don't know. It's not. It's fun sometimes, but the upkeep.
All right.
We need.
I promise I will never.
We need pool people. We need a pool guy. Pool
I
girl.
promise I will never
No,
pay
pool
off.
girl. We need a pool girl.
A pool girl.
Yeah.
Okay. I promise I will never pay off your mortgage.
All right, that's between you and my wife. She might want that. I don't know. All right. I do want to mention a couple things before we're gone,
Okay.
before we say goodbye, before we sign off. So I got my vision tested today. I went to the vision center. Have you done that in a while?
I've never had my eyes checked.
Ever?
Ever.
Interesting.
Other than like at school where they make you stand 8 feet away from the chart.
Last time I did it, I think, if I'm not mistaken, my eyes were dilated. Have you ever? You've never had that done. You said.
Nope.
That's an interesting experience. They did not dilate the eye this time, but
Clearly, because you can see.
I got to see inside my eye. They take pictures inside my eye. And
Were
I
there
got to
monsters in there?
No.
Worms?
It was pretty clear. I mean, there were some like veins and stuff. But see, like I have floaters in my eyes. I always had floaters.
Same.
Like when I was a kid
Yep.
and I would in school and we would go outside for like assembly or whatever, I would look up in the sky and watch all these little floater things.
Yep.
And it's always been like that. And as I've gotten older, it's gotten worse. But I didn't see any of those. I thought it was supposed to show that. But she said my eyes look great. So I had a few things I need to get. My readers, I need more powerful readers.
Clearly.
Yeah, and so all that was kind of interesting. But just the fact, the way that they're now taking pictures inside your eye was fascinating to me. Just
I have insurance. I have insurance that covers vision.
yeah, we did that.
And
$30 was my copay.
tests, all I have to do is go, and I've already met my deductible, so
Yeah.
I don't even think I have to pay a copay. I can
Good.
just walk in and get an eye test.
You go where we went. My wife took me there, and so it's painless. It's quick. And then you get a prescription. You don't have to buy glasses there. You get a prescription. You can go anywhere you want to buy your glasses. It cost me $30 for the whole thing, and that's it. Totally it.
I will say that I have this dark spot from my
They'll
right
tell you what
eye,
it is. They'll tell you what it is.
and sometimes it's creepy.
Yeah.
Because it's like a spot, and I have to kind of look sideways at words in order to see them.
Mm-hmm.
And people say
I have
that's
the
a
same-
bad thing.
I have the same thing, and it's to me it's like one of those floaters that gets right in front of my eyes. I have to kind of like move my eyes to get it out of the way, and
No,
then I can read.
mine never goes away.
Oh.
Anyways, moving on. Did you know
Okay.
that sleeping comes so naturally to me, I can do it with my eyes closed.
That's not even a joke.
But it is. Come on. Butchers link sausage to make ends meet.
Do you link your own sausage?
Do you link your own sausage?
All right, so I wasn't finished in what I was saying. I was going to talk about.
I apologize. Moving on.
It was like a brief break
Yeah.
for dad jokes.
Joke break.
So I wanted to talk about a little bit of something really, really quick. And this is because I started about vision. Vision reminded me of it, but I started thinking about this because this is an experience that I have. So I have some hearing loss. It's not major. It's a hereditary, a genetic thing. But as I get older, it gets worse. And that happens with everybody, too. Your hearing starts going. My grandfather was like almost completely deaf.
Sure.
And so I have that from, I think, because a lot of other people, including my mother, have started as they get older, it's starting to go away. And we used to think it was because he listened to his music too loud.
Right.
But it was the opposite. I think he listened to his music too loud because he couldn't hear it.
Right.
So anyway, as I get older, that happens. And I find that when I'm out in public, I don't hear people as much as I think other people would like for me to hear.
Well, that's clear. I mean, that's been just your existence since I've known you.
Yes.
And the thing is that you get all that background noise, and it drowns out any specific noise that's pointed at you.
Yeah, if I'm in a restaurant and there's chatting going on, that's just white noise and I can't hear a thing.
Right.
Even people talk to me, I don't even know what they're saying. I mean, most of the time now. Sometimes, depending on the restaurant, I can tune it out. But anyway, so, all right. That is a personal thing. You never know who in life has an issue with their hearing.
We've already discussed this. We just discussed this the other day.
No, I think you and I discussed it, but I don't think we discussed it on the show.
Okay.
You always freak me out when you say that because then I'm like, oh, am I going to be repeating the same thing?
No, but we did. But move on. It's fine.
On the show we did?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't think so.
But go ahead.
What I was going to say is people get really freaked out and get upset when you don't talk to them.
Yes.
When they talk to you and you don't talk to them.
Correct.
And you could be completely deaf.
And to have somebody be like, why aren't you answering me?
Yeah.
And you look at them like, what?
But it's so weird because that's so tied into ego. It's so tired. I mean, for whatever reason, if someone doesn't answer you or ignores you, that makes people so mad.
Yes, it really does.
But no one ever stops and thinks, oh, that person has a hearing issue or they're deaf. They just think, he's ignoring me, the asshole.
Right.
Yeah. And I think we might have mentioned this on the show before, but there was an episode where a cop shot someone because the person didn't respond to them, and found out later the person was deaf.
Yep.
Completely deaf.
Shot and killed or just shot?
I think killed.
Isn't that insane? Isn't that crazy?
But it just goes to show you how mad people get when you don't respond to them.
Yeah.
But here's what I find so weird. Just with that issue of me having that issue, and when you think about how many times that you're out, and people have their Bluetooth on, and they're talking, they're chatting, and you think, oh, they're talking to me, and you answer them, and you realize, no, they're talking to someone in their ear.
And they point at their ear.
Or they don't even point, they just keep talking.
Right.
So even if you do get to hear them, half the time, they're not even talking to you. Half the time, you either don't hear them or you hear someone and you think they're talking to you and they're not. And I think we are starting to become conditioned to just completely ignoring everyone, just blocking everyone out who's around us, even if they're talking. Used to, if someone's talking, you look, oh, they're on their phone.
Yeah.
Now you can't even tell if they're on their phone because the device that's in their ear is so small, you can't tell.
So if somebody's talking and you take the time to turn around and see if they're talking to you, you still don't know.
Or if they're talking to you and you think they're not and you don't turn around, then they get pissed off.
They get mad.
Yeah. Or if they're talking to you and you don't hear it because you're hard of hearing or you're completely deaf or whatever, then they get pissed off and you don't even know that they're pissed off.
Yeah.
And they might come up and spin you around. And how many times that I've gone into stores when I can hear someone in the background just saying, can I help you? I don't know if they're talking to me. I don't know if they're talking to someone behind me. I don't know who they're talking to. Do I turn around and answer them? Do I ignore them? Because I feel like either way is wrong. If I turn around and answer them, they may be turned around talking to somebody else. If I don't, then they may have been talking to me and I'm rude.
And you just walked past them.
I just don't know what to do. How do you respond to all of that stuff? I feel like it's
clearly you don't.
It's kind of a no-win situation for people. And I don't know, we're in a day and age where everybody's trying to be sensitive to everybody else and everybody else's feelings. And I feel like that's one group of people no one is sensitive to. No one. People you will talk to strangers not knowing anything about that stranger. And that stranger may not hear you.
Right.
And then when that stranger ignores you, you get mad.
And the thing is that even with somebody who has lost their vision, more often than not, they will have some apparatus, like a stick or something.
Yeah.
If they're out in public, they'll be walking around with a device to help them find their way. Deaf people don't have that.
Or just hard of hearing, yeah.
They don't have a device. They don't have a sign that says, hey, I can't
may be
hear
driving.
you.
They may be driving
They
a
could
car.
be driving. Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing that you see. And two, they may be having a conversation with someone standing next to them, and you might think, oh, they hear just fine, but they just heard that person. Or maybe they've been friends and they read the person's lips, or they know, and I just feel like that it's a group of people that we have not yet become sensitive to.
I agree.
Is the hard of hearing. People
agree.
who are either completely deaf or hard of hearing, or just have some hearing loss, and they can't hear regular things. Because waitresses will come up to me and talk to me in a restaurant, and I know that's their job. They're supposed to. But if I don't answer them for whatever reason, I don't hear them, or I don't hear them well, or I thought they were talking to someone else, they seem to get irritated by that.
Yeah, like I'm standing here doing my job. Why aren't you
Yeah,
responding?
I mean, I got more things to do than just talk to you.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. My wife has some hearing loss too, and our relationship, a lot of it's just, huh? What? Huh? We do a lot of that.
Yes, I know. Yes, you do.
But that's us, and we're fine with it. But when you get out and you talk to people, and even my wife, a lot of times she'll talk to me when I'm out in public in conditions when I can't hear, and she thinks that I hear.
Well, she also comes up to your nipple. So it's like, her face is way down here.
You saw that?
Yeah. Her face is way down here. So if she's especially if she's walking in front of you.
Well, usually like when we're sitting at a restaurant.
And she says something, you're like, did you move your lip? I don't know. Did you say anything?
A lot of times I'm at a restaurant, and I just, the way I do generally at a restaurant is I just sit there, and everything is tuned out. Everybody and everything. All I hear is white noise. And I can't listen, so I don't. So I just tune it all out. And then every once in a while, I'm just sitting there, just letting things happen. And then I look, and everyone is looking at me. So
and
at
you're
that
like,
point,
oh, yes.
I realize
yes,
someone has asked me a question or directed something at me, and I didn't know it. And so then I'm just like, oh, dear. Sorry.
What were we talking about?
Yeah.
Part of my job is to sit at my desk and listen to all of my technicians on their phone calls, helping remote users with IT issues. So as I listen, because I have to listen to different conversations, only one-sided conversations, like physically in the room. So I have become very good. That was me, sorry. I have become very good at focusing my hearing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like everybody in the room can be talking at the same level, but if I focus on John or Joe, I'm going to hear John or Joe.
Sure.
And people will walk up to me and talk to me, ask me a question or something, or need advice or whatever, or need me to do something. And I'm listening to Joe across the room, but I'm looking at them. And I'm trying to focus on what they're saying, but I'm like, oh, I just got an alarm from what I just heard Joe say, so I need to really focus on that. But I'm still looking at the person standing at my desk. I'm like, yeah, you're going to have to repeat yourself.
Yeah. I'm listening to that guy way over
right.
there.
I'm watching you, and I'm focused on you, and you have you don't have my attention at all, because I'm totally focused on that person.
Well, I guess what the whole thing is, I don't know how to fix it. I'm probably the same way in some situations, but I just feel like in a day and age where there's so much noise, so much talking, everyone's talking on their devices, all their devices. There are people who walk around with their devices on public, talking back to them. It's just noise constantly, noise, as the Grinch said. But then when we're ready to talk to an individual stranger,
right,
we expect them to know we're talking to them. Right. We expect them to pay attention that we are talking to them.
And that's where eye contact comes in. If you can't, if I walk up behind you and I say, can I help you? You're not going to know I'm talking to you. But if I walk up to you and I look at you in the eye and I say, can I help you?
But I've had people talking and looking right at me, and I answered, and they were on their Bluetooth, but they just were looking at me while they were talking. And
that's creepy.
It's creepy. And
it's creepy.
Like yesterday, I thought my wife was talking to me. I didn't realize she had her phone up to her, or she was talking to someone else. And I answered her like
I've
three
gone
or four
on
questions.
I've gone on full-on conversations with people who weren't talking to me.
Yeah, especially when they're sitting on the toilet next to you in the public restroom, and you're like, why is this stranger talking to me? And then they're asking questions. You're like, yeah. And then they're like, why is that stranger talking to me? That's the creepiest thing.
Okay, that's
someone
never
who's
happened.
talking on their phone while they're on the public toilet next to you is one of the creepiest things.
That happens all the time.
Too many times.
All the time.
Well, you've made it through another episode of This Epic Disaster, and doggone it, we're happy that you did, because this is episode 90. 90 in 2 more episodes. We're 100. I think we should do something special when we go to 100. If you haven't heard, we are doing a special Halloween thing. Although, wow. Now that I say Halloween, our little light blinks off and on.
It did.
We are doing a special Halloween thing. We will be doing stories. We need stories.
Yes, stories.
Stories from the readers, stories from the listeners, not readers, but listeners. And they could be very short stories. They could be poems. We are going to have...
Did you say porn?
Poems. A poem.
Oh.
And you can write it, a scary thing, scary story. We're going to do an episode of scary writings.
Scary or Halloweeny.
Yeah,
Halloween. Doesn't have to be scary.
We prefer
scary.
Halloween is scary. What do you?
Not all Halloween is scary. Halloween is fun.
You like horror stuff.
I love horror stuff, but not everybody does.
Well, then they don't need to be listening or writing.
What?
It's supposed to be scary. Make it scary. We're writing some stuff. But anyway, let us know if you would like to contribute. We'll let you know the deadline. Just drop us a line, thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. And whether you do or don't, please listen to the show, which will happen later in October. But we do like it when you hang out. Come to our Facebook. Come to our YouTube. Come to our Twitter and Instagram channels. Play with us. Have a good time. Hang out.
Did you just ask somebody to play with you?
I am. I'm saying come hang out and play with us. We like it when our listeners send us messages, when they tell us what their crappy dates are, or when they let Cheri grab onto their leg and drag them across the floor.
Around. Yeah. Because
So
that's fun.
Yeah. So, but you can do that, and we do want to hear from you at thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. I think our listener, Aaron, sent you his T-shirt size this week.
He did?
So, and thanks to Aaron for doing our beer, all of our beer reviews.
Also known as Jack's.
Yeah, he put that down, so that's on our website as well.
Yep.
We're gonna try to we're starting some new videos and things that we're gonna be putting on our website. And
you did one.
I did one this week. So we'll be doing more, but it's all for you. We're all doing it. We're doing everything we do for you.
For me or for them?
True.
The
For
people
them.
listening.
I don't do anything
two or
for
three
you. I'm
people.
sorry.
Oh.
I'm just not doing anything for you.
Okay.
Let's talk about this beer real quick before we go.
Okay.
This beer is what? Island?
It's called Island.
Island.
Coastal Lager.
Island Coastal Lager by, is it Good Vibes?
No, it's actually by Island Brewing Company.
Oh, okay.
It just says Coastal Vibes, Craft Brewer, Island Soul.
All right. So what we are going to do at this point is give it a little rating. We're going to tell you what we think of it. What do you think of it?
I'm going to give it a 2.
That's exactly what I was going to give it.
We are the same person.
Well, no, it's just the same beer. It is... it's got a unique taste. It's not as flat. Well, it did go flat. It's really
Very
flat.
flat.
The carbonation left very quickly.
Yes.
I don't know if that has to do with the fact that it wasn't ice cold.
I don't think so. I think it's just not well carbonated.
Mm-hmm. It had a interesting aftertaste, kind of, I don't know what it would be. Floral?
I'll tell you,
kind of
it's fruity because it
Fruity,
went
maybe?
really well with my pineapple cocktail that I was drinking.
No, that's why you wanted me to drink it?
I did.
Well, I will say that as just a basic beer, like good for food and stuff, it wasn't bad. With pizza or something, I think it'd be fine.
I could have 12 of those.
It wasn't a beer that just knocked me dead, but I mean, it's good.
After 12,
Look, we both finished it.
We
That's
did.
rare. We don't always do that.
That's true.
We finished off the entire beer.
I was thirsty.
All right. Well, that's pretty cool. 2 and 2. If you would like to try it, go out and find Island Coastal Lager by Island Brewing Company in South Carolina. And South Carolina's getting...
No, they're not in South Carolina. They're in Lakeland, Florida.
Oh, Florida. That's right. Why was I thinking South Carolina?
Because you were just about to talk about South Carolina?
No, I was going to say South Carolina's getting pummeled by the hurricane, but so did Florida a little bit. So
I have used that word pummeled.
Pummeled?
More like
Plummet?
12 times
Beat up?
today I've used the word pummeled.
Really?
Yeah, that's where my emotions are. They're currently pummeled.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, people. We do love it, and we hope you have a good time. Tell us what you like about the podcast. Tell us what you don't like. Tell us what you'd like for us to do. We are going to do a little relationship segment. As you heard, Cheri's an expert on relationships.
Clearly.
And we would like for you to send in your relationship questions, and she will answer them.
Here's the thing is, I give really fucking good advice.
I know. I'm not saying... That's why I'm saying that.
I just don't follow it.
But you can send your relationship questions to Cheri at thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. Also, I'm still saying I will interpret your dreams. Send your dreams that need to be interpreted to Rick at thisepicdisaster@gmail.com, and all that stuff will take place.
Yep, we'll do it.
All right. We're going to say goodbye now, and we'll see you next Monday.
Bye.
Bye.
This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.